Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Namo Namaha. Jai Guranga, Jai Nishingade, Hare Krishna. So we're going to continue on with Tisra Jati, Tryasra Tisra Jati, or more specifically, Laya Jati, which is different from Bull Jati. So in each section here, if we're looking at Pahira Taal, you have, 4 matras, 8 matras, 16 matras, anything that fits into 8. But within that one matra, we're only playing, we're playing 3 hits now, whereas before, for a lot of things, we're either playing 2 or in double speed, sometimes 4. So now we're switching to 3s for every single matra. So 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, right? 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. But this can be applied to any taal structure. So this is irrespective of taal. It doesn't have anything to do with the taal. It has to do with how many times you're hitting a mridanga on your Laya Jati each time. And this can be used in many different instances. And it's all you're doing is changing the amount of hits. It has nothing to do. So every matra, you're hitting it 3 times. How many matras that you have within your taal structure is something different. Generally, people are familiar with this in Das Pahira, and then in the second part, when it's really, really fast, then Iyengar Prabhu would always go to what people refer to as the breakdown, and that's switching into Laya Tisra Jati, still within Das Pahira Taal. So we went over 1, 2, so now we're on to the 3rd mantra here. So let's do this easy one first, and then we'll actually give a kirtan mantra that you can use. Well, all these can be used in kirtan, but this one's a little bit of a standard kind of kirtan structure. So Geneta, Geneta, Genete, reketa, right? Geneta, Geneta, Genete, reketa. Tereta, tereta, kenete, reketa. Geneta, geneta, genete, reketa, tereta. So tereta, just 3. Tereta, tereta. 1, 2, 3. Tereketa, 4. Tereta, 3. No K. Tereta, geneta. The other parts are Genete, reketa for 6. Genete, 3. Reketa. Reketa, genete, reketa. So that, and we've seen that used in, not written in Tryasra Tisra Jati, right? So you can see how we go Genete, reketa, but we go Genete, reketa, Genete, reketa, and the Bull Jati and the Laya Jati are different. They actually switch. So we use the Bull Jati to become Tisra, and the Laya Jati comes back into a 4 structure when you're playing it like that. So you'll have to take notice of how that works. They're completely opposite. If you change the Laya Jati from Tisra to Chatur, in that instance, then you'll find that the Bull Jati then becomes Tisra, and the Laya Jati becomes Chatur. So we've got Geneta, Geneta, Genete, reketa. I'm hitting the gay there, but so Geneta, Geneta, Genete, reketa. Tereta, tereta, kenete, reketa. So those are the parts of it. So you can go Geneta, Geneta, Genete, reketa, tereta, tereta, kenete, reketa, Geneta, Geneta, Genete, reketa. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare So that's just a kind of a hand practice, little bit basic to use in kirtan, but obviously all of these things have their place in kirtan, and there's no reason you can't be using them. So once more, Geneta, Geneta, Genete, reketa, tereta, tereta, kenete, reketa. Notice how we're opening up the hand, all these different things we've been discussing. Geneta, Geneta, Genete, reketa. And the way you chant to this is Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna. So you can extend these. You can play Geneta, Geneta, Genete, reketa, Geneta, Geneta, Genete, reketa, Geneta, Geneta, Genete, reketa, Genete, reketa, Genete, reketa. Lots of different ways that you can extend it. Geneta, Geneta, Genete, reketa, Geneta, Geneta, Genete, reketa, Geneta, Geneta, Genete, reketa, Geneta, Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna. So there we've extended it. Geneta, 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 Genete, reketa, Geneta, Geneta, Genete, reketa, Geneta, Geneta, Genete, reketa, Genete, reketa, Genete, reketa, tereta, tereta, kenete, reketa, kenete. Right? Then you go into the lagu. So you can extend it like that, use the different parts. Yeah. I write the extension out as well when I put it up. So here's a little cool kirtan mantra, just getting a feel for a little bit of the basic fingering and patterns here used. So we've got Jha, Jha-ta, taketa, Jha-ta, taketa, dhageti, niketa, Jha-ta. So Jha-ta, the Jha takes up 2 of the 3 spaces. Jha-ta, taketa, and then that taketa, 1, 2, 3. Jha-ta, so that space. Jha-ta, taketa, dhageti, Jha-ta, taketa, dhageti, niketa, Jha-ta, taketa, dhageti, niketa, ketajha, jha-ta. So now we're learning some different phrasing. Ketajha, 3. Ketajha, space, ta, space, jhajha, space, space, ta. So it sounds like ketajha, jha-ta, ketajha, jha-ta. Ketajha, keta. Let's see if I can play. Jha, jha-ta, taketa, dhageti, niketa, jha-ta, taketa, dhageti, niketa, jha-ta, taketa, dhageti, niketa, ketajha, jha-ta. Jha-ta, taketa, dhageti, niketa, jha-ta, taketa, dhageti, niketa, jha-ta, taketa, dhageti, niketa, ketajha, jha-ta. Ketajha, jha-ta. Jha-ta, taketa, jha-ta, taketa, dhageti, niketa, dhageti, niketa, jha-ta, taketa, dhageti, niketa, ketajha, jha-ta, taketa, dhageti, niketa, jha-ta, taketa, dhageti, niketa, taketa, dhageti, niketa, ketajha, jha-ta. Ketajha, jha-ta. right? Ketajha, 3, space. So the second one is space, space, ta, space. Ketajha, so that jha extends. Ketajha, ta, right, for those 2 spaces. Jha-a, ta. Then there's 2 again. Jha-a, ta. Jha-a, ta. Jha-ta, taketa, dhageti, niketa. Jha-ta, taketa, dhageti, niketa. Jha-ta, taketa. Ketajha, ta. So let's chant with that slowly. Hare Krishna. Now here, so at this Tehai, Rama Rama, you can use Jha-ta, taketa, dhageti, niketa, Jha-ta, or Jha-ta, taketa, dhageti, niketa, jha-a. So let's look at that. Hare Rama. Was the Tehai there. Jha-ta, taketa, dhageti, niketa, jha-ta. Jha-ta, taketa, dhageti, niketa, jha-ta. So that's the Rama Rama. Rama Rama. Hare Hare. Jha-ta, taketa, dhageti, niketa. So let's look at this again. And then you can chant, so I'm extending it, but you can chant quicker as well, so I'll show you how to chant. Pardon me, like that as well. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna. So that's how it's used. Again, you can use it in many different versions. You don't have to use the ketajha, the jha-ta all the time. You can just roll through with jha-ta, taketa. It's a nice mantra. Jha-ta, taketa, dhageti, niketa. So 3, 1 finger closed, 3 fingers closed. Niketa, niketa. 4 fingers. Jha-ta, taketa, dhageti, niketa. Dhageti, niketa. Jha-ta, taketa, dhageti, niketa. Try to rotate the wrist. Jha-ta, taketa, dhageti. So get that, just like you're about to do a geneta, geneta. Open the hand up so you get more rotation, and keep the fingers curved, and don't make a slappy sound or an open sound with that. Jha-ta, jha-ta. Boom. Done. Alright. We did that, we did that. Okay, next mantra. Genete, reketa, genete, reketa, genete, 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 reketa, genete, reketa, kenete, reketa, kenete, 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 reketa, kenete, reketa. So we're playing a tuck here, which is quite strong in 2 spots. You've got the genete, reketa, genete, geneta. So we're just throwing in a different version here to kind of spice it up rather than going always genete, reketa, genete. You have this option of adding a tuck to make it stronger, to create a little bit more of a powerful mantra and to extend it and play the same thing but change one aspect of that bowl so that it's got a different feel to it. So here we got Genete, reketa, Genete, Genete, Genete. Let me play this way. Genete, reketa, Genete, 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 reketak. Genete, reketa, Genete. Right? Genete, reketa, Genete, 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 reketa, Genete, reketa, Genete, reketa, Genete, 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 reketa, Genete. So that tuck's very important. It's the most important part of the mantra here. So let's just have a slow look at this. Genete, reketa, genete, 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 reketa, genete, reketa, kenete, reketa, kenete, 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 reketa. Genete, reketa, genete, 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 reketa. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna So it's a fun mantra to play. I haven't practiced this one a lot because a lot of these mantras I've reworked and rewritten out from what were originally given to me. So I'm not like super proficient at all of these, and all of the Genete regenas are changed to Genete reketas. So there's all these little nuances that I don't have like 100% on my hands. But it's a learning experience for both of us here. But you can see how the mantra's used there. Genete, reketa, genete, 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 reketa, genete, reketa. Very powerful. You can see how it adds so much to your mantra rather than just having the genete, reketa, genete, reketa again. Genete, reketa, genete, reketa. Totally changes the feel of it. So I want to go through this once again slowly for you. Genete, reketa, geneta, geneta, genete, reketa, kenete, reketa. And make sure you're playing the K's and not G's on the bottom, because this also enhances the mantra even more. Genete, reketa, geneta. Genete, reketa, genete, reketa. Then the next one. Genete, reketa, keneta, keneta, kenete, reketa, kenete. Genete, reketa, genete, 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 reketa, genete, reketa. Reketa, kenete, 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 reketa, kenete, reketa. Genete, 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 reketa, kenete, reketa, kenete, beautiful mantra. Makes your hands feel so soft and supple too if you really practice these. Your wrist will just change so much, your playing will change so much. You see everyone just struggling so hard to play the mridanga. Their shoulders and bicep muscles are bursting out. There's so much tension in the hands and the fingers and the wrists. And you know, like, not just from a visual standpoint, but just listening to it. You know, when you listen to something that is produced through kind of force rather than agility and finesse. You know, there's a big difference between eliciting a sound one way and producing it another way. And you know, when you're rigid and you're very forceful, the sound is going to be very harsh and less fluid and just not pleasing to the ears, compared to practicing these mantras and getting this fluidity so that you're really connected to the drum, producing force in a proper way and in a fluid way, because the mridanga is always driving that kirtan. And if that drive is more staccato and more rigid, then the kirtan becomes like that as well, you know? So everyone involved in the kirtan is able to elevate it or bring it down. So we'll do one more here. So this is showing a different way of using the Laya, Jati, and Tisra here. Similar concepts to what we're doing. Genete, reketa, genete, reketa, genete, reketa. Now we're using the tak, but in a different spot. Genete, reketa, genete, reketa, genete, reketa, tak, tereke, the taka, takete. Now this tak, you can have tak space. So 1, 2, 3, tak space te, tak, tereke. Or in different mantras, you'll have takete, regeta. So genete, reketa, genete. If you want it to have the most power, you don't put the ka, because it flows through the mantra. It doesn't create as much power. So the most powerful version is Genete, reketa, Genete, reketa, Genete, reketa, tereke. But it depends. See, if someone's kind of brought the kirtan down a little bit, they're flowing a little bit more, then you'd want it to be softer, right? See, you don't want it to be like, right, because it doesn't suit the kirtan at that moment. So that's why there's these different things that you can do where the taka will bridge over that kind of intensity and reduce it, so that if you don't want that mantra to really kind of stick out and you want the singer to feel a little bit more comfy, like there's nothing too crazy going on, then you go taka really changes it a lot. Second part, so let's just go. So Genete, reketa, Genete, reketa, Genete, reketa, tatere, kenete. And there's no kenete, reketa here, but you can practice that as well. Genete, reketa, Genete, reketa, Genete, reketa, tatere, kenete, reketa, Genete, reketa, Genete, reketa, tak, Genete, reketa, Genete. See how the hands flowing? See, it's not actually losing any momentum or movement. It's completely flowing from one hit to the next. Look. Genete, right? Genete, reketa, genete, reketa, genete, reke. That movement down is flowing up, coming back around. We're flowing up, bringing the energy down. Genete, reketa, genete, reketa. Up, down, always twisting the wrist, always conserving that energy. Second part, Genete, reketa, genete, genete, terege, natere, genete, regena. So now we're breaking up tereke, 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 as we've showed in very early videos how to break up tereke into Tisra Jati. You can go back and watch those if you're not familiar. So the second part is Genete, reketa, Geneta, Geneta, terege, natere, Genete, regena. Again, Genete, reketa, Geneta, Geneta, Genete. Genete, reketa, Genete, Genete, terege, natere, Genete. Once more. Genete, reketa, Genete, Genete, terege, natere, Genete, regena. Go, Ranga. So let's look at this. Genete, reketa. From the start. Genete, reketa, Genete, reketa, Genete, reketa, top. Genete, reketa, Genete, Genete, terege, natere, Genete, regena, Genete, reketa, Genete, reketa, Genete, regeta, tereketa, Genete, reketa, Genete, Genete, terege, natere, Genete, reketa. Once more. Speaking before we sing to it. Genete, reketa, Genete, reketa, Genete, regeta, jha. Genete, reketa, Genete, Genete, tere, Genete, regena. Now chanting to it. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare beautiful mantra. And this is being played, a lot of the Genete reketas are being played in single speed here. And then as you get comfortable with these as well, later you'll learn mantras where that becomes gerga, and you start being able to play double speed for this as well. And we'll show you how all of that works and continue progressing along here. I hope that's proving useful. Hare Krishna, Jai Gauranga, Jai Nishingadev.